Today we have with us Professor Sandeep Shukla, who is our head of computer science department here at IIT Kanpur. Also, he is one of the leading researchers in the field of cybersecurity. Thank you, sir, for taking out your time for us.
Sure.
So we'll start with the first question. So, can you please describe a bit about your field of expertise?
Uh, so my field of expertise has been quite evolving over time. So I started in formal verification and computational complexity theory in my PhD, and then I went to various jobs in the industry. Worked on network management systems, and then worked on formal verification of Intel processor. From that, I went into VLSI, system level design, to embedded systems, to cyber physical systems, to cybersecurity. So right now I'm working mostly in cybersecurity, but I do some work in cyber physical systems and embedded systems.
So, what are the major challenges in this field that are still unsolved?
Well, cybersecurity is a very difficult problem. So we are seeing that a lot of hacking is going on in various places, which has very far-reaching consequences. For example, only last week we had hacking in the French election, and actually it was very interesting that the French the campaign of the winning candidate actually got idea that there is hacking going on, and they actually created various kinds of ways to confuse the attackers and not give out the real information. We saw that happening in the Hillary Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Party sites and so on. And then we are seeing the same kind of things happening in various other ways, like Ukraine had this attack on their power grid by Russians. So we had Turkish banking system into a standstill because of denial of service attacks. We had ATM hacking in India. 3.2 million debit cards informations were hacked. And then we had issues with the IIT Delhi and various other sites being hijacked. Recently, the Russian telecom actually hijacked the traffic of various financial services from the US. So this cybersecurity has become a real threat, which not only is disrupting the technology and intellectual property theft and so on. It has far-reaching consequences in people's lives and their financial uh, you know um, situations, as well as their overall livelihoods and so on. So I think that cybersecurity is very big unsolved problem, because as we are getting more and more dependent on digital world, and everything in our life is dependent on computers and networks and communication, we have to solve this problem, and we don't know how to solve this problem in general. Now, if you look at individual issues, like how do you secure your mobile, and how do you secure your desktop and your laptops, and how do you secure your server, or how do you secure your database where you have your other information, for example, we have to solve those problems also. But overall, I think that there has to be a very radical shift to how we prioritize our budgets for IT, and how do you prioritize our emphasis on what technology to invest in and so on. I think cybersecurity is going to make a huge difference, and if we cannot make that difference, then we are going to be suffering big time. So I think there is a huge amount of problems to be solved.
So, from the perspective of students, what do you think are the perks of studying computer science or specifically cybersecurity?
Well, studying computer science gives you a very interesting, experience, because you are actually doing things which you can immediately see having an effect, right? So you write a program to solve a particular problem, and then you can easily see the answers, and it gives you a very good pleasure of solving problems. In cybersecurity, the pleasure, in my opinion, is even more, because you are actually hacking into systems, and thereby you are actually exposing mistakes. So if you are a person who wants to do good, you can do a lot of good by hacking into systems and exposing the vulnerabilities or problems in the system, which could be used by cyber criminals to attack your system. On the other hand, if you want to do harm to the system also, so it's a you can actually do that by doing cybersecurity. and that gives you a ability to actually decide between good and bad, and there will be a moral um, dilemma that you will have to solve. So it is an interesting experience from that point of view as well.
And it's illegal.
Yeah, and it's illegal to do it. So you better not do it. But that's some kind of a there is a dimension of moral issue and ethical issues there.
So, what are some of the career options in your field, say cybersecurity?
So in cybersecurity, the as I said before, that your systems are extremely vulnerable, and not only IT systems, but your power system, your banking system, and various other critical infrastructure. So the job in cybersecurity right now is very easily available. If you have the expertise, you can easily get a job, and very high paying job. Also, there is a huge lack of products and tools for cybersecurity. So if you can actually come up with good tools and products, you can actually build your own startup companies and so on. But also in terms of research, if you want to opt for a research career, there is a lot of interesting problems. For example, how do you detect that somebody is attacking your system by malware, right? So yeah, there are machine learning techniques people can use to actually detect malware. You may want to continuously monitor your system, and then use machine learning to figure out that the behavior of the system is not proper, or not as nominal behavior, and then you can from that create alerts. Those alerts will tell the system administrators to do something, that something strange is going on, an ongoing attack is going on. So if you are doing research in for example, critical infrastructure cybersecurity, then there are a lot of things that you do in terms of learning the electrical engineering components, and then you want to learn the cyber components, and then you have to figure out uh, models that will bring these things together, and then figure out what are the threats, or how to model the threats. So I think that there is, for all kind of tests, like if you have a more theoretical test, or if you have a taste of very hands-on work, cybersecurity provides you a whole range of possibilities, and it draws on your ability to do things at various. So if you're a full stack developer, what they call that, how to develop at the assembly level to all the way to the application level, about networking and operating system and middleware and so on, then that fun is there in cybersecurity, because you are you have to draw on knowledge, very deep knowledge in various aspects of the system.
So, the last question. So, can you please give us some suggestions for the students like who are very much beginners in the field of computer science?
Yeah, so computer science is a vast field. So you have to know first few years you basically have to take courses and understand where your interest lies. But if your interest is in pure mathematical aspects of computer science, then you actually can do well in there. But if you are more interested in solving real problems that confronts the industry or confronts society, then cybersecurity is a good area. There are other areas also. For example, machine learning is one area which is being used for both for marketing by marketing people, all the way to people who are doing demographic studies, or various social indicator studies and so on. So all these areas have opportunities to contribute to the society. So my advice will be that you should look for opportunities to contribute to society in various ways. You could do you could do this by building tools and techniques that are useful, or you can build a company that gives jobs to people, or create products that can be exported to bring foreign currency to the country. You could do you can solve problems that the government is facing. So but I think the end goal should be to somehow have some contribution that is beyond making money for yourself. I mean, obviously, you will make money for yourself if you're in computer science and you do well, but you have to go beyond that, and look for opportunities to uh, contribute. So, all right.
Thank you, sir, for taking out your time. I'm very sure that this will be very helpful for all of us. Thank you.
That's all.
Okay.